Damn, North Texas can't give me work.
On the key possession, I'm OD aggressive when I run the rock. See me flexing in the winning section. If they press a bombing on them,
Damn, bitch.
to leave them in the field, or I'm in the kitchen whipping up a dot. Took it from the bottom to the top.
Bro, how is this shit happening?
A bullet hit you in the chest and send a burner across your face from out the slot. Please don't test them, I bring heat and brush it. Have my hitter brush you, move you out the spot. Slump a hater, leave them in the field, or
How is these boys smoking me like this?
I'm to the top. Certified Madden money shot.
If you guys are looking for fast, cheap, reliable coins for your college football 25 team, check out my coin sponsors at MMOXP and use discount code MONEYSHOT for 5% off your order. Link in the description below.
The champ is here!
Welcome back, Money Team. This is Mad Money Shot, sniffing out the college cheese as always. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys a brand new offense that I think is absolutely unstoppable if you run it the way that I'm going to show you guys. And I'm also going to touch up on a defense that I've been showing you guys in some other videos that I'm making some new adjustments to, and it makes it one of the hardest defenses to play against as well. But before I do, if you guys want to see more videos like this where I go over offensive and defensive plays in the same gameplay, please make sure to be a subscriber, hit the like button, let me know in the comment section. In today's gameplay, I'm using North Texas and I'm going against Vanderbilt, which are probably my two favorite teams to use right now, as I feel they're the top two tier 5 teams in the game. And I do feel like Vanderbilt has the much better roster when it comes to speed and also abilities, but North Texas has the much better playbook on offense and defense with much better play, so it's not going to matter. Now, I started this gameplay off with an offense that I already showed you guys out of the gun bunch quads open, which is a very similar concept to the offense I'm going to show you guys today, which is the empty quads, as these are two of the only offenses that have 4 wide receivers to one side of the field, making this a very difficult offense to stop. If you guys want to see more about either one of these offenses, I got full breakdowns on my Join Now community and my Patreon, as well as an ebook that should be dropping next week. And as always, if you guys need more help or more money plays, you can download any of my ebooks instantly simply by clicking links in the description or the top pinned comment. Now, for both of these offenses, the only running threat is the quarterback, so make sure that you set your ball carrier to conservative before you actually choose these plays, otherwise you'll be fumbling a lot. For my plays and my audibles, I'm going to be using the QB draw, which, like I said, is the only real run play in this entire formation. They also have the wide receiver screen, which is a really hard to stop RPO play, where the left side is a man beater and the right side is a zone beater. You also got the all go, which is your one play touchdown against every single defense, as well as a really good zone beating play. The out double under, which has good man and zone beating concepts. And my fifth and active play, which I typically choose, is going to be the curl pivot dig, which is pretty much an all man beating play. Now, on this first play, what makes this offense so easy to use and so hard to stop is the fact that the spread formation is going to give you man or zone every single time. You're going to know whether your opponent is in man or zone, and since I have cornerbacks in front of all 4 of my receivers on the right side, I know that I'm in a man coverage. So I could stay with this play right here. I could probably hit any number of these routes as they all pretty much beat man coverage. But since I see that he's pressing, we're going to put the X receiver here on the streak. The single receiver by himself is typically the one that draws the least amount of attention, but I also have my fastest receiver there. So the second I see that he's pressing in man coverage,
break yourself, fool!
I know that I can beat him over the top. And that's pretty much all this offense is taking what the defense gives you. On the next play, he's still pressing, so I try to put that receiver on a streak once again, but I just didn't like the fact that he didn't get an outside release on this play as he tries to run right through the cornerback. So instead, I try to roll out, and I have several options, but I just hold the ball too long, being indecisive, as I get hit and we get a fumble animation right by the sideline.
Bullshit.
The defensive formation I'm going to be using once again today is the 3-3-5 stack, which is only found in 2 different playbooks. The 3-3-5, which is what I'm using now, and the 3-2-6, which is an even more rare playbook, making this one of the rarest and best formations in the entire game. I already broke this down in a gameplay video as well as in practice mode, so I'll try to have links to that on screen at the end of the video if you guys want to check that out. As this defense is so versatile that it really deserves its own gameplay to discuss all the things you can do, but in this particular gameplay, I'm going to be focusing on what I'm doing with these outside linebackers here. As on this first play, I just zone all to turn them into hook curls to help out with covering over the middle. And for that adjustment, all I have to do is hit the D-pad to the right and up. And it must have worked out pretty good as he tries to throw over the top of it.
Gotcha, bitch!
But he throws it too far right into an interception on the very first play. And we get a pretty good return taking it back past midfield. When I get back on offense, he's still running that cover 1, but he's already recognizing the fact that this press cornerback on the left side is not a good matchup, and he's already backing it off. So in the fashion of taking what the defense gives me, I'm just going to turn into a speed out route, which will then get open underneath it, as I can steal that for a very easy catch and run as well. It looks like he switches over to a cover 0 in the next play, and he's still pressing, but he's still wise enough to at least back that cornerback back off, which is fine by me because I want to work on the side of the field that has 4 receivers anyway, as all these routes get open and the zig route is probably the best and most consistent option as we get another first down. Now, the only other read you ever have to make other than man or zone, as my opponent is clearly in a man-zero blitz on the very next play, is a box count. Since I have 5 linemen blocking, if I ever see that he has less than 5 defenders inside of the box, I could switch over to this QB draw play. And one of the reasons I picked this team is because they have an 87 speed quarterback. As you can see, he tries to use the middle, but I get outside of it every single time as we get inside the 10. And this guy's just a little bit too dependent on man-zero blitzes. He tries to blitz me one more time, but we get the drag as we roll out of the pocket to punch it in.
Damn, North Texas team giving me work.
Back on defense, he runs an RPO play before I really get the full setup of my defense in, as I had nobody zoned out here. And you can see it because of my poor tackling, he gets all the way down the field into field goal range in the very next play. After that, though, I get my adjustments in on the next play, and since he's running a lot of RPOs, I make sure to hard flat this linebacker this time, instead of dropping him back into a hook curl. Got him! And he tries to run that exact same RPO concept again. And we probably would have had a touchdown if he didn't have a 95 speed quarterback who literally glitched his way into a tackle. Back on offense, he's now making the adjustment of pinching his defensive line, and I could still probably try to run around this, but since he's still in man coverage, it's just easier to hit the zig route outside.
Bro, how is this shit happening?
Back on defense, I typically try to Mabel to the open side of the field because that's where I expect the majority of the action to go. But on the next play, he hits me with an RPO to the weak side, and he gets another good catch and run. So I got to pay attention to that. So on the very next play, I decided to do a double Mabel concept where I put both outside linebackers in the hard flats, and then I also spread the linebackers so that they're closer to the line of scrimmage, so I can try to stop some of these RPO plays as we shut them down the very next play.
Sit your ass down!
We're going to continue with the double Mabel concept on the next play, but since he has me spread out to the open side of the field, he decides to try to work the seams, which is a natural weakness when it comes to cover 3. And the coverage was there because these curl flats typically match, but he just wasn't fast enough to keep up with some of the fast receivers that Vanderbilt has. So on the next play, when he tries to run us to the other side of the field, I'm guessing that this outside linebacker or cornerback is just a little bit faster, as he runs with him stride for stride, and we get another interception.
Gotcha, bitch!
But you can see the speed difference as his guy just runs right past my return man and ultimately cuts me off at the 50-yard mark. And now my opponent has finally switched to some zone concepts. As I can see, I only have 3 cornerbacks in front of my 4 wide receivers, and I also only have 4 guys in the box. So I try to switch over to a run play, thinking that I could probably get through it, as he stuffs me for only a 1-yard gain. So if he wants to run zone coverage, we're going to switch to our zone coverage beating play in the all go, as I really only have to read this play from front to back, starting with the A receiver and then working my way to the Y receiver, the RB receiver, and then the B receiver last. But on this next play, I noticed that his cornerbacks are pressing, and his cornerback doesn't drop off the ball once the play starts.
Break yourself, fool!
As we make a quick throw, break a tackle, and punch it in.
Why are these boys smoking me like this?
Back on defense, my boy's pulling out all the stops as I see him coming out in a wildcat formation, and I guess pass right away, thinking that he's most likely going to run the option play where he gets to throw, and sure enough he does. So luckily, since I guess pass, nothing gets open and he has to throw the ball away.
Nope.
But then when I see him come out in the exact same formation on the next play, I guess pass once again, which is a huge mistake if your opponent runs the ball. As you can see, everyone on my defense now is slower, they're getting blocked easier, and all kind of nonsense, as he gets a really cheesy touchdown.
Damn it!
Back on defense, I'm guessing he doesn't pinch his defensive line since he thinks I'm going to pass with only a minute left, but I'm always going to take what the defense gives me. So on this play, since I have 4 guys in the box, we go right to the QB draw. And on the next play, he goes right back to running zone coverage, so we go right back to the all-go play. And as I see him drop off from the A receiver to the Y receiver, we got a read. As I take what the defense gives me and almost get the first down, on the next play, he goes back to man coverage, so we go back to that zig route. And even though the zig was covered much tighter, we still make a play on the ball to get the first. And that's all this really is, just taking what the defense gives me, making very simple reads between man and zone. I call a hurry up on the next play, and I think that that might be why he forgot to drop back his cornerback here on the left side, as he's in man press, which has pretty much been his base defense this entire game. And we got this receiver over the top, which would have been a touchdown if it wasn't for this jumping catch animation. Once inside the red zone, though, we try to go back to this man-beating concept, and I'm lucky I didn't pull the trigger as I tried to hit the RB receiver, but the B receiver was wide open as we almost run for the touchdown before I try to get it with a quarterback draw once again with only 10 seconds left. And after I get stuffed, I decided to just take the points since I'm already up a lot anyway. In the second half, he gets ball, and Mika Bell is one of the fastest receivers in the entire game with 97 speed as he runs some sort of switch concept, and this guy gets right over the top of my defense.
Damn it!
as I just didn't have a fast enough guy in place to stop that guy. And to make things worse, he actually converts a 2-point conversion for the second time this game to make it a 1-score ball game. And I think since he realizes he can't stop my offense, he tries to go for the onside kick.
How about no?
So we'll take the ball right there. Back on offense, we see that he's running a lot of man-zero blitz coverages still, so we're going to go right back to that zig route, as this is going to get open every single time. And I'm going to keep doing it until he makes an adjustment to stop it, as we get around the tackle that time and almost punch it in from about 30 yards out. On the next play on the goal line, he uses that route himself, but all that does is leave the middle of the field wide open for the drag as we punch it in. As all these routes beat man coverage, not just the zig. Back on defense, he runs that exact same concept, and I just can't keep up with this receiver as he bombs it up right over the top of my cornerback once again.
God damn it!
Only this time we shut down his 2-point conversion attempt to keep it a 2-score game. Back on offense, since I'm up 2 scores, I'm going to try to kill a little clock by switching over to the QB draw since I have the numbers game inside, and it feels like we get a first down every time we run this play. Before we go back to that zig route against his man coverage, we get another first down on 2nd and 10. Before he makes a new adjustment and user blitzes me off the edge, forcing an underthrown ball that he bodies my tight end for the interception, and now we got a ball game. On the next play though, since he's been beating with a slot fade concept, one of my most asked questions is how to stop this. All you really have to do is man somebody to the slot receiver on this side of the field, and it'll completely take away that route, as he doesn't even run that concept on the next play, instead trying a zig route on the other side.
Got him!
Damn good shit. Sitting right on that dumbass route.
And we jumped that route for a pick 6 to end the game. As my opponent finally gives up in the waning seconds of the 3rd quarter.
See ya!
So that's the video. If you guys want to learn more about the defense I was running, I'll have links to that popping up on screen. So just click the links, and until next time, thanks for watching, man. My shit out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.